annihilate the Ukrainian forces that are standing against them with artillery, rocket artillery, tube artillery, airstrikes, missile strikes, special forces raids. The outcome is sealed at this point.
The person you just listened to is Jacob Dreisen. He feels that Russian victory is a foregone conclusion, that there's no way out of it for the Ukrainians at all. Now, he does make some good points, and he analyzes some of the factors that are causing the Russians to win at the moment, but I'm going to go in and take a look at the things that he missed, because there are a lot of things, and he's not telling the whole story. So stick around to the end, and we'll get right to that. But before we do that, let's talk about the area. He's talking about the eastern side of Ukraine, Kharkiv, Izium, Severodonetsk, and Sloviansk, that area over there. I'm showing you right here at Military Lands map right here. And this is pretty updated. It shows good detail here. You can see the Izium thrust right here coming through. You can see Sloviansk right there, and it goes all the way around here. Now later on, I'm going to show you the difference between this map and a month ago, just to convince you. But anyway, this is what he's saying, is that they're going to do a pincer through the Izium area, and they're going to try to link up with the Donetsk region in the south, which would be coming up. And they're going to try to create a cauldron and kind of cut these guys off and kill them. It's not as easy as people say, because if you take a look at this, there are only a few roads going through there. And in addition, one of the key important points is it is mud season in Ukraine right now. Not so easy to go off-road. But let's hear a little bit more.
Big armored spearheads that come out of the north and come out of the south, and they're going to meet in the middle and close off the Donbass, and it's guaranteed to happen.
So guaranteed to happen, he says. Well, who is Jacob Dreisen? Well, back in 2015, he predicted twice that Russia was not going to win the war in Syria. But according to my scorebook, it looks like they did, because their goal was to keep Assad in power. The West's goal was to get Assad out of power. And anyway, he's still there, so Russia did win that, and Jacob was wrong on that. Next, he goes on to talk about how the javelins are junk and how the new weapon systems won't get to the Ukrainians in time.
Oh, that junk that Uncle Sam and his hegemonic bloc in Europe, all that stuff that they want to send to the Ukraine to bail out the Ukrainians, that stuff is not going to get to where it's needed in time.
So what he's talking about are the M777 howitzers, the HIMARS, and the other cool weapons that are getting there. But are they really getting there? Let's hear from the State Department and see what the progress is on those.
Giving whole numbers, more than half of those howitzers are in Ukraine.
So what does that all mean? It means one thing only: time is against Russia. Now, Jacob Dreisen said that, you know what, they can take their sweet old time, but no, they can't. The longer this war goes on, the stronger Ukraine gets. And I'm going to show you why in a little bit, because some big news hit today. In addition to that, they need a 3-to-1 advantage to successfully pull off an attack anywhere. It's not like they have space lasers out there where they can just zap all the Ukrainians at will and send nobody out there. They still need to get people there. They can't just win towns by hitting them with artillery and then mopping up. It doesn't happen that way. And when they come down to fighting, it's going to be a real ugly story for the Russians. And the reason why it's going to get ugly is as the Russians come in to Barenkov and Sloviansk, they are coming between two groups here, and they're being hit by artillery. You can see the range is 11 miles. That's a conservative estimate for how far Ukrainian artillery can hit. And just wait till the U.S. artillery gets there. It's going to get even uglier. Now, to put everything in perspective, sometimes you need to take a step back and get a look at the big picture. Take a look at March 28, 2022, and look at the map now at April 28, 2022. Notice there's not a lot of change. This whole invasion is not going that fast. And since things are going slow, these things are showing up. These are HIMARS. These are game changers. And these are going to be able to let the Ukrainians go on the offensive and totally wreck the Russians. And the way they're getting HIMARS and other equipment is because of Lend Lease. This was passed today, and it's going to give the Ukrainians $30 billion. That's a lot. We left the Taliban with $7 billion when we left, but they're getting $30 billion. And this is not just going to be HIMARS and other high-tech equipment, probably going to be fighter jets and all other things like that they're going to need to push the Russians out. Finally, the Ukrainians are highly motivated to fight and win. This is their homeland they're fighting for. Just look at the people that are fighting for them. Look at this. Who would you rather fight for? Would you rather fight for these people, or would you rather fight for this guy?